2 Chronicles 22. Then the inhabitants of Jerusalem made Ahaziah his youngest son king in his place, for the raiders who came with the Arabians into the camp had killed all the older sons. So Ahaziah the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, reigned. And the inhabitants of Jerusalem made Ahaziah his youngest son king in his stead, for the band of men that came with the Arabians to the camp had slain all the eldest. So Ahaziah the son of Jehoram king of Judah reigned. Ahaziah was 42 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Athaliah the granddaughter of Omri. 42 years old was Ahaziah when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Athaliah the daughter of Omri. He also walked in the ways of the house of Ahab, for his mother advised him to do wickedly. He also walked in the ways of the house of Ahab, for his mother was his counselor to do wickedly. Therefore he did evil in the sight of the Lord, like the house of Ahab, for they were his counselors after the death of his father, to his destruction. Wherefore he did evil in the sight of the Lord like the house of Ahab, for they were his counselors after the death of his father to his destruction. He also followed their advice, and went with Jehoram the son of Ahab king of Israel to war against Hazael king of Syria at Ramoth-Gilead, and the Syrians wounded Joram. He walked also after their counsel, and went with Jehoram the son of Ahab king of Israel to war against Hazael king of Syria at Ramoth-Gilead, and the Syrians smote Joram. Then he returned to Jezreel to recover from the wounds which he had received at Ramah, when he fought against Hazael king of Syria. And Azariah the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, went down to see Jehoram the son of Ahab in Jezreel, because he was sick. And he returned to be healed in Jezreel because of the wounds which were given him at Ramah, when he fought with Hazael king of Syria. And Azariah the son of Jehoram king of Judah went down to see Jehoram the son of Ahab at Jezreel, because he was sick. His going to Joram was God's occasion for Ahaziah's downfall, for when he arrived, he went out with Jehoram against Jehu the son of Nimshi, whom the Lord had anointed to cut off the house of Ahab. And the destruction of Ahaziah was of God by coming to Joram, for when he was come, he went out with Jehoram against Jehu the son of Nimshi, whom the Lord had anointed to cut off the house of Ahab. And it happened, when Jehu was executing judgment on the house of Ahab, and found the princes of Judah and the sons of Ahaziah's brothers who served Ahaziah, that he killed them. And it came to pass, that, when Jehu was executing judgment upon the house of Ahab, and found the princes of Judah, and the sons of the brethren of Ahaziah, that ministered to Ahaziah, he slew them. Then he searched for Ahaziah, and they caught him, he was hiding in Samaria, and brought him to Jehu. When they had killed him, they buried him, because, they said, he is the son of Jehoshaphat, who sought the Lord with all his heart. So the house of Ahaziah had no one to assume power over the kingdom. And he sought Ahaziah, and they caught him, for he was hid in Samaria, and brought him to Jehu, and when they had slain him, they buried him, because, said they, he is the son of Jehoshaphat, who sought the Lord with all his heart. So the house of Ahaziah had no power to keep still the kingdom. Now when Athaliah the mother of Ahaziah saw that her son was dead, she arose and destroyed all the royal heirs of the house of Judah. But when Athaliah the mother of Ahaziah saw that her son was dead, she arose and destroyed all the seed royal of the house of Judah. But Jehoshabeth, the daughter of the king, took Joash the son of Ahaziah, and stole him away from among the king's sons who were being murdered, and put him and his nurse in a bedroom. So Jehoshabeth, the daughter of King Jehoram, the wife of Jehoiada the priest, for she was the sister of Ahaziah, hid him from Athaliah so that she did not kill him. But Jehoshabeth, the daughter of the king, took Joash the son of Ahaziah, and stole him from among the king's sons that were slain, and put him and his nurse in a bedchamber. So Jehoshabeth, the daughter of King Jehoram, the wife of Jehoiada the priest, for she was the sister of Ahaziah, hid him from Athaliah, so that she slew him not. And he was hidden with them in the house of God for 6 years, while Athaliah reigned over the land. And he was with them hid in the house of God 6 years, and Athaliah reigned over the land. 2 Chronicles 23. In the 7th year Jehoiada strengthened himself, and made a covenant with the captains of hundreds, Azariah the son of Jeraham, Ishmael the son of Jehohanan, Azariah the son of Obed, Messiah the son of Adaiah, and Elishaphat the son of Zichri. And in the 7th year Jehoiada strengthened himself, and took the captains of hundreds, Azariah the son of Jeraham, and Ishmael the son of Jehohanan, and Azariah the son of Obed, and Messiah the son of Adaiah, and Elishaphat the son of Zichri, into covenant with him. And they went throughout Judah and gathered the Levites from all the cities of Judah, and the chief fathers of Israel, and they came to Jerusalem. And they went about in Judah, and gathered the Levites out of all the cities of Judah, and the chief of the fathers of Israel, and they came to Jerusalem. Then all the assembly made a covenant with the king in the house of God. And he said to them, Behold, the king's son shall reign, as the Lord has said of the sons of David. And all the congregation made a covenant with the king in the house of God. And he said unto them, Behold, the king's son shall reign, as the Lord hath said of the sons of David. This is what you shall do, 1/3 of you entering on the Sabbath, of the priests and the Levites, shall be keeping watch over the doors. This is the thing that ye shall do, 1/3 part of you entering on the Sabbath, of the priests and of the Levites, shall be porters of the doors. 1/3 shall be at the king's house, and 1/3 at the gate of the foundation. All the people shall be in the courts of the house of the Lord. And 1/3 part shall be at the king's house, and 1/3 part at the gate of the foundation, and all the people shall be in the courts of the house of the Lord. But let no one come into the house of the Lord except the priests and those of the Levites who serve. They may go in, for they are holy, but all the people shall keep the watch of the Lord. But let none come into the house of the Lord, save the priests, and they that minister of the Levites, they shall go in, for they are holy, but all the people shall keep the watch of the Lord. And the Levites shall surround the king on all sides, every man with his weapons in his hand, and whoever comes into the house, let him be put to death. You are to be with the king when he comes in and when he goes out. And the Levites shall compass the king round about, every man with his weapons in his hand, and whosoever else cometh into the house, he shall be put to death, but be ye with the king when he cometh in, and when he goeth out. So the Levites and all Judah did according to all that Jehoiada the priest commanded. And each man took his men who were to be on duty on the Sabbath, with those who were going off duty on the Sabbath, for Jehoiada the priest had not dismissed the divisions. So the Levites and all Judah did according to all things that Jehoiada the priest had commanded, and took every man his men that were to come in on the Sabbath, with them that were to go out on the Sabbath, for Jehoiada the priest dismissed not the courses. And Jehoiada the priest gave to the captains of hundreds the spears and the large and small shields which had belonged to King David, that were in the temple of God. Moreover Jehoiada the priest delivered to the captains of hundreds spears, and bucklers, and shields, that had been King David's, which were in the house of God. Then he set all the people, every man with his weapon in his hand, from the right side of the temple to the left side of the temple, along by the altar and by the temple, all around the king. And he set all the people, every man having his weapon in his hand, from the right side of the temple to the left side of the temple, along by the altar and the temple, by the king round about. And they brought out the king's son, put the crown on him, gave him the testimony, and made him king. Then Jehoiada and his sons anointed him, and said, Long live the king. Then they brought out the king's son, and put upon him the crown, and gave him the testimony, and made him king. And Jehoiada and his sons anointed him, and said, God save the king. Now when Athaliah heard the noise of the people running and praising the king, she came to the people in the temple of the Lord. Now when Athaliah heard the noise of the people running and praising the king, she came to the people into the house of the Lord. When she looked, there was the king standing by his pillar at the entrance, and the leaders and the trumpeters were by the king. All the people of the land were rejoicing and blowing trumpets, also the singers with musical instruments, and those who led in praise. So Athaliah tore her clothes and said, Treason! Treason! And she looked, and, behold, the king stood at his pillar at the entering in, and the princes and the trumpets by the king, and all the people of the land rejoiced, and sounded with trumpets, also the singers with instruments of music, and such as taught to sing praise. Then Athaliah rent her clothes, and said, Treason! Treason! And Jehoiada the priest brought out the captains of hundreds who were set over the army, and said to them, Take her outside under guard, and slay with the sword whoever follows her. For the priest had said, Do not kill her in the house of the Lord. Then Jehoiada the priest brought out the captains of hundreds that were set over the host, and said unto them, Have her forth of the ranges, and whoso followeth her, let him be slain with the sword. For the priest said, Slay her not in the house of the Lord. So they seized her, and she went by way of the entrance of the horse gate into the king's house, and they killed her there. So they laid hands on her, and when she was come to the entering of the horse gate by the king's house, they slew her there. Then Jehoiada made a covenant between himself, the people, and the king, that they should be the Lord's people. And Jehoiada made a covenant between him, and between all the people, and between the king, that they should be the Lord's people. And all the people went to the temple of Baal, and tore it down. They broke in pieces its altars and images, and killed Mattan the priest of Baal before the altars. Then all the people went to the house of Baal, and brake it down, and brake his altars and his images in pieces, and slew Mattan the priest of Baal before the altars. Also Jehoiada appointed the oversight of the house of the Lord to the hand of the priests, the Levites, whom David had assigned in the house of the Lord, to offer the burnt offerings of the Lord, as it is written in the law of Moses, with rejoicing and with singing, as it was established by David. Also Jehoiada appointed the offices of the house of the Lord by the hand of the priests the Levites, whom David had distributed in the house of the Lord, to offer the burnt offerings of the Lord, as it is written in the law of Moses, with rejoicing and with singing, as it was ordained by David. And he set the gatekeepers at the gates of the house of the Lord, so that no one who was in any way unclean should enter. And he set the porters at the gates of the house of the Lord, that none which was unclean in anything should enter in. Then he took the captains of hundreds, the nobles, the governors of the people, and all the people of the land, and brought the king down from the house of the Lord, and they went through the upper gate to the king's house, and set the king on the throne of the kingdom. And he took the captains of hundreds, and the nobles, and the governors of the people, and all the people of the land, and brought down the king from the house of the Lord, and they came through the high gate into the king's house, and set the king upon the throne of the kingdom. So all the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was quiet, for they had slain Athaliah with the sword. And all the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was quiet, after that they had slain Athaliah with the sword. Luke 20. Now it happened on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, that the chief priests and the scribes, together with the elders, confronted him. And it came to pass, that on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple, and preached the gospel, the chief priests and the scribes came upon him with the elders, and spoke to him, saying, Tell us, by what authority are you doing these things? Or who is he who gave you this authority? And spake unto him, saying, Tell us, by what authority doest thou these things? Or who is he that gave thee this authority? But he answered and said to them, I also will ask you one thing, and answer me. And he answered and said unto them, I will also ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or from men? The baptism of John, was it from heaven, or of men? And they reasoned among themselves, saying, If we say, From heaven, he will say, Why then did you not believe him? And they reasoned with themselves, saying, If we shall say, From heaven, he will say, Why then believed ye him not? But if we say, From men, all the people will stone us, for they are persuaded that John was a prophet. But and if we say, Of men, all the people will stone us, for they be persuaded that John was a prophet. So they answered that they did not know where it was from. And they answered that they could not tell whence it was. And Jesus said to them, Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. And Jesus said unto them, Neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. Then he began to tell the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, leased it to vinedressers, and went into a far country for a long time. Then began he to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, and let it forth to husbandmen, and went into a far country for a long time. Now at vintage time he sent a servant to the vinedressers, that they might give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the vinedressers beat him and sent him away empty-handed. And at the season he sent a servant to the husbandmen, that they should give him of the fruit of the vineyard, but the husbandmen beat him, and sent him away empty. Again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, treated him shamefully, and sent him away empty-handed. And again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, and entreated him shamefully, and sent him away empty. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also and cast him out. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also, and cast him out. Then the owner of the vineyard said, "What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. Probably they will respect him when they see him." Then said the Lord of the vineyard, "What shall I do? I will send my beloved son, it may be they will reverence him when they see him." But when the vinedressers saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, "This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours." But when the husbandmen saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, "This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours." So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore what will the owner of the vineyard do to them? So they cast him out of the vineyard, and killed him. What therefore shall the Lord of the vineyard do unto them? He will come and destroy those vinedressers and give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it they said, "Certainly not. He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyard to others." And when they heard it, they said, "God forbid." Then he looked at them and said, "What then is this that is written, the stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone?" And he beheld them, and said, "What is this then that is written, the stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner? Whoever falls on that stone will be broken, but on whomever it falls, it will grind him to powder. Whosoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder." And the chief priests and the scribes that very hour sought to lay hands on him, but they feared the people, for they knew he had spoken this parable against them. And the chief priests and the scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. So they watched him, and sent spies who pretended to be righteous, that they might seize on his words, in order to deliver him to the power and the authority of the governor. And they watched him, and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor. Then they asked him, saying, "Teacher, we know that you say and teach rightly, and you do not show personal favoritism, but teach the way of God in truth." And they asked him, saying, "Master, we know that thou sayest and teachest rightly, neither acceptest thou the person of any, but teachest the way of God truly. Is it lawful for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar, or no?" But he perceived their craftiness, and said to them, "Why do you test me?" But he perceived their craftiness, and said unto them, "Why tempt ye me? Show me a denarius. Whose image and inscription does it have?" They answered and said, "Caesar's." "Shew me a penny. Whose image and superscription hath it?" They answered and said, "Caesar's." And he said to them, "Render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's." And he said unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which be Caesar's, and unto God the things which be God's. But they could not catch him in his words in the presence of the people. And they marveled at his answer and kept silent. And they could not take hold of his words before the people, and they marveled at his answer, and held their peace. Then some of the Sadducees, who deny that there is a resurrection, came to him and asked him. Then came to him certain of the Sadducees, which deny that there is any resurrection, and they asked him, saying, Teacher, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies, having a wife, and he dies without children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Saying, Master, Moses wrote unto us, if any man's brother die, having a wife, and he die without children, that his brother should take his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were 7 brothers. And the first took a wife, and died without children. There were therefore 7 brethren, and the first took a wife, and died without children. And the second took her as wife, and he died childless. And the second took her to wife, and he died childless. Then the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also, and they left no children, and died. And the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also, and they left no children, and died. Last of all the woman died also. Last of all the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife does she become? For all 7 had her as wife. Therefore in the resurrection whose wife of them is she? For 7 had her to wife. Jesus answered and said to them, The sons of this age marry and are given in marriage. And Jesus answering said unto them, The children of this world marry, and are given in marriage. But those who are counted worthy to attain that age, and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry nor are given in marriage. But they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world, and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry, nor are given in marriage. Nor can they die any more, for they are equal to the angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. Neither can they die any more, for they are equal unto the angels, and are the children of God, being the children of the resurrection. But even Moses showed in the burning bush passage that the dead are raised, when he called the Lord the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Now that the dead are raised, even Moses shewed at the bush, when he calleth the Lord the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not the God of the dead but of the living, for all live to him. For he is not a God of the dead, but of the living, for all live unto him. Then some of the scribes answered and said, Teacher, you have spoken well. Then certain of the scribes answering said, Master, thou hast well said. But after that they dared not question him any more. And after that they durst not ask him any question at all. And he said to them, How can they say that the Christ is the son of David? And he said unto them, How say they that Christ is David's son? Now David himself said in the book of Psalms, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand. And David himself saith in the book of Psalms, The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand. Till I make your enemies your footstool. Till I make thine enemies thy footstool. Therefore David calls him Lord, how is he then his son? David therefore calleth him Lord, how is he then his son? Then, in the hearing of all the people, he said to his disciples. Then in the audience of all the people he said unto his disciples. Beware of the scribes, who desire to go around in long robes, love greetings in the marketplaces, the best seats in the synagogues, and the best places at feasts. Beware of the scribes, which desire to walk in long robes, and love greetings in the markets, and the highest seats in the synagogues, and the chief rooms at feasts. Who devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. These will receive greater condemnation. Which devour widows' houses, and for a shoe make long prayers, the same shall receive greater damnation. Psalms 8. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is your name in all the earth, who have set your glory above the heavens. To the chief musician upon Gittith, a psalm of David. O Lord our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. Who hast set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and nursing infants you have ordained strength, because of your enemies, that you may silence the enemy and the avenger. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have ordained. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained. What is man that you are mindful of him, and the son of man that you visit him? What is man, that thou art mindful of him? And the son of man, that thou visitest him? For you have made him a little lower than the angels, and you have crowned him with glory and honor. For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. You have made him to have dominion over the works of your hands, you have put all things under his feet. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands, thou hast put all things under his feet. All sheep and oxen, even the beasts of the field. All sheep and oxen, yea, and the beasts of the field. The birds of the air, and the fish of the sea that pass through the paths of the seas. The fowl of the air, and the fish of the sea, and whatsoever passeth through the paths of the seas. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is your name in all the earth. O Lord our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth.